Good evening, beautiful people. Welcome to our Civics Sunday Night Live. My name is Talia Davis. I'm a socialpreneur, community organizer, activist, advocate. I wear multiple hats. This is actually my first time going live on YouTube, so I hope everyone enjoys. Um, So the purpose of our Civics Live is to raise awareness of each election cycle and also emphasize on how public policy affects our everyday lives in our immediate communities, right? And all of that transpired from me being in the community, being in the field, and seeing a huge disconnect of the community and then the source of information when it comes to each election cycle, because we always hear that every election is important and every vote counts, but I feel like um, there's not always emphasis on how these things transpire. So yeah, I just decided to create the platform due to that. So I hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys enjoy. Sorry about that. Still fixing some stuff here. So today, what I wanted to talk about, of course, is the government shutdown. So, if you don't know, which I'm sure a lot of folks do, right now we are in a government shutdown. This is the longest government shutdown in history. We've had about 20 since the 1970s, and this is the longest. And so, the reason for this um, government shutdown, right, is because our current president, number 45, Ben said in his campaign promise that he was going to create this wall between us and Mexico for his numerous reasons, right? But he also said that Mexico would pay for this wall. Comes to find out, Mexico is not paying for this wall, so he's looking for us, the taxpayers, to pay this $5.7 billion for this wall, right? And so because neither party is agreeing, he's having a temper tantrum. And now this is the first time that we're having a government shutdown because of an emotional temper tantrum, right? So let's talk about what's at stake right now. So due to this temper tantrum and this government shutdown, we now have federal employees who are not getting paid. Some of them are still working but not getting paid. Then you have agencies like the FDA, which is the Food and Drug Association. I'm sorry, Food and Drug Administration. Um, they're not working, so our food cannot be detected. So now we run the risk of getting sick because of what we put in our body, right? And so he says that we need more border control, right? There's more moral ways to go about getting border control. If you talk about immigration reform, that's perfectly fine, but there's moral ways to go about this. Like this whole wall, this is immoral. It's causing families to get try to seek all types of help, and is what we call asylum. Asylum is when a non-native goes to try to get protection, um, to basically try to get protection and support, so they won't be sent back to their country, or things like that. So Google this stuff too. Google these terms. So asylum is the term. Um, and so by him not, number one, not keeping his word, and number two, going off his emotions, he's putting everyone at stake. Everyone. And then he even goes as far as saying he can call, he can force the wall by calling a national emergency. And it's like, yeah, but no, because there's no national emergency. This isn't an emergency. We aren't being threatened. There isn't any natural disaster. It's like simply you going off your emotions, not getting a fair trade, and you want something in return. like you're trying to bully your way into the situation, and when it's not going your way, you're acting like a child. So I know a lot of folks are like, hey, I know the PA Dems just won the House in Congress, and it's like, why don't we impeach him? And like, what are we doing? And yada yada yada. Well, we did. The PA Dems did win the Congress is made of your federal House and Senate. So the PA Dems did win the House, and so what that means is there's some sort of checks and balance now going on in Congress. That's what that means. That we have some checks and balance now going on, right? And so what we're hearing based off sources that I'm going off of, and again, this is me getting the information out, but I always, um, would encourage you guys to go and look up everything yourself. But the Democratic Party is saying this: we're not going to cause any friction because that's not getting the situation solved, right? But what we can do is I would strongly encourage you guys to call your Congress. The federal Congress number is 202-224-3121. And I strongly advise you call them and two things. Ask them, give them encouragement. Hey, we appreciate you guys for everything that you're doing. Please don't give in. Don't give in to this wall. Keep fighting. And two, can we see about an oversight? Because right now, what it's looking like is his campaign, his administration, and his transition team, they didn't keep their word. He broke his campaign promise, and so he violated, and they're abusing their power. And so, no, we might say, you know what? We're not going to fight fire with fire. We're not going to go after him and try to do this long process of impeaching him. When we can just not vote him in and just focus on laws that need to be transpired. Like that can be a valid argument. But in the meantime, we need to figure out how we can oversee, get some oversight over his campaign, his administration, and his transition team because they're abusing their powers and they violated. And so I'm gonna let you guys go. If you don't know, I like to keep it nice, brief, and sweet. But just some facts, real quick, right now. So there has been some big changes in Congress, and some of the changes are right now we have 55 members of the Congressional Black Caucus, and we have 39 members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. Both are record-breaking numbers. That's the most that we've ever had in each caucus. Again, that just shows the changes that happen in Congress, and it also shows that we have some types of checks and balance. So call your Congress, encourage them. Thank you so much. Please do not give in to the shutdown, and please let's see about some oversight and build an argument against him because what he's doing is immoral, and he did break his campaign promises. All right. So I see y'all. I do this every other Saturday and Sunday. Yesterday you didn't miss it. I just wasn't feeling well, so I couldn't go live. Apologize. So I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Saturday and Sunday. I do go live on Instagram and Facebook, but this I'm only going live on YouTube, so I may just stick to this. We'll see how it works. But just remember, if you don't know, positivity is the new gangster. You know. All right. So I'll see y'all soon. Peace.